I love you so much, bud, and I love every moment with you. So I want to tell you a couple things, okay? I promise you that I will always support you. I will be at every event. I get to be there for when you lose your first tooth, when you start school, in your first, in your last
In high school, I really started to go down a path of experimenting and exploring, if you will. I always wanted things to be exciting, and I was a little bit of a rebel without a cause. And so at the end of high school and into my young adult years, I went down a path that was really, I went further down a path that I never expected to go, and got really entangled in addiction and things of this world, just in a cycle of destruction. Every single area of my life, I destroyed relationships with my family, destroyed my body. I got really enslaved and stuck in this lifestyle. That pulled me out of that was realizing and learning that I became pregnant, and that was when I really was able to see my life for what it really was, see my my actions for what they really were, and it God really started me on this journey at that point of healing and restoration and redeeming. He healed relationships with my family right after my son was born, actually. From the hospital is when I came back home to live with my parents, and just God took me on this journey for about 3 years that started with just healing my body, healing my mind, and it turned into Him placing me in a perfect job for my situation that allowed me to go back to school and allowed me to reach all of my dreams that I had long since given up on. And He just, miracle after miracle, He brought me not just out of what I was in, but catapulted me to where I wanted to be, with pursuing my degree and healing relationships with my family that were really far gone. And so I just spent those 3 years just focusing on my relationship with God and my relationships with my family, and learning how to be a mom and getting back on my feet. And it was about 3 years into that journey that it really got good, and God brought me the man that I wasn't looking for at the time, but that He knew I needed. Brought me a godly husband and father to my son, and it was His hand in all of that, and His timing with all of that was exactly what me and my son needed. And
for me, it was similar start. I was raised in a Christian household. We actually went to the same school for a little bit in high school, and I knew the Lord, but my family dynamic was a little different. It was just my mom and I, and so there was definitely some hurt and just feeling of abandonment and all that comes with not having a father in the picture, and so that kind of made me have the desire to want to be that for so many kids and people that grew up like myself. And I knew early on that I wanted to be an amazing dad, and that was kind of, if there was anything that I could accomplish in my life, it was that I was going to be a good husband and a good dad. And I actually came across a random picture of Max on Instagram, and for whatever reason, he just caught my heart, and I think I actually just said, he's cute or something like that, and that's where it all began. And God knit our hearts together. We went to coffee like a week later, and we didn't spend a day apart until I moved away for a period of time. So just to see God's restoration in her, we sat and talked at coffee for over 4 hours, just hearing each other's stories, and I knew at that moment that that Teenie had experienced complete and total healing and restoration, just complete and total restoration and wholeness, and in both of our lives, to where now I get to be that dad, and I get to do my best to be a good husband, and we have another little one on the way. And so just it's so cool to see how God just brings together all things.
I have seen the goodness of God in my life. I've seen the power of God in my life, the healing power of God in my life, and He brought life to a situation that was lifeless. He brought hope to a situation that was completely hopeless.